And record. All right, welcome everyone. Week 3, here we go. Let's get going.
Okay, guys, so today's goal for me was going to be hitting a lot of the glute, my favorite glute, booty lifting kind of things, and some tips and tricks to really get the out of a lot of the movements that you're doing. When we get into this, I want you guys to pay really close attention, just keeping that core good and engaged, because I don't want anybody's back, to be hurting or anything. And feel free to, if you raise your hand or ask questions. I want, if their dialogue will be great. So I'm gonna bring you guys over, and I want to touch back on one that I did last week, because it's like the beginner version of the next one that I'm gonna show you. So when you're doing glute training, my favorite formula is to get a lot of movements that are going to be loaded in what's called the short position. So when you contract the muscle, you make it shorter, and then you want to combine that or couple that with long loaded movements. So where you're going to take the same muscle but really stretch it out, so it's loaded in a long position. Okay, so I'm going to show you some short positions, and these are just easy ones. There's a lot more, you can imagine a ton that you could do, but some really basic ones that you could do at home for sure. If you have just flat on the floor, like a chair or a couch or something, you could do for one of them, and then I'll show you some other ones that you do as well, and some modifications of it. I'll bring you guys over and set up, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of moving around with my camera here, okay? I want to put you guys probably right here, the light's better. So short position is when you're contracting the muscle, okay? So I showed you guys this little bridge last week. So I'm going to show you again, and I'm going to talk you through kind of what's going on, what you're trying to feel and go for. So I'm going to go through this little bridge again, and last week we used a band, and you can also use a dumbbell or no weight. The key is you want to load it in the contracted position. So you can watch me do it a little bit, and then you can kind of lay down and try it out yourself. So you always want to have your core good and tight. Always be bracing here, keeping this engaged, because if you're going to go into any hip extension movement, which is what this is, if you press up but don't have the core tight, you're going to get a lot of aggravation in the lower back. So if your lower back is ever hurting, you're doing something wrong. With a big red flag that you're not getting that core tight, or that your core is not developed enough yet to even engage properly, okay? So we're going to do these little bridges, and I want to do a 5-second hold, and watch my breathing. I'm going to try to exaggerate my breathing so you can kind of see it, so it sound like I'm panting or something, sorry. So you're going to take a big breath, blow out as you lift, and I want you to hold for 5 seconds, all right? Big breath, blow it out. Squeeze your booty, tight core, hold for 5. 4, 5, and then back down. So it's one breath. So ideally, you want to do, now I'm looking at the camera, and I see you guys are feel like you got it down, try to keep your head neutral. So as much as you can, so you can really focus on what's going on in your own body. So I'm going to show you again, big breath, and then up, tight core, tight booty, okay? Squeeze. Does anybody feel anything in the lower back? If you do, try to tighten up the core and don't hyperextend up too high. 4, 5, and then back down. So you rest. So as you go in, I'll do one more with you, and then I'm going to kind of glance at what you guys are doing and go and lead you through and do some form correcting, some observation, and then we'll move on to the next level up. Okay, so I'll go through one more with you. Big breath in, tightening out, lift, squeeze, 3, 4, 5, back down. So you guys go through a few more. That was 3 rounds of 5. So try to do 10 rounds of 5. Take your time, don't speed through. I'm gonna take a look at each one of you and call out if I see anything that needs to be corrected. Okay. Natalie looks great. We do this one all the time, so she's a pro. Got two Jessica. So Jessica T, watching you next. Looks good. If you can, Jessica Tanner, if it's, I know you probably haven't, I'm just correcting a little bit. When you engage the core, it's okay. Just kind of engage a little bit tighter down. And that's just, do you feel anything in your lower back? Does that feel okay? All right, good. So nice and tight in the core. Everything looked really good. Just a little perfect in here. Okay. You guys keep on going through. Let's see. So Jessica M, to me, it looks like maybe your feet are a little too far out. So scoot them a little closer to your booty. There you go. You should get a really good engagement. I don't know, before you might've been feeling the hamstrings pulling a little bit. Now you look really good. So on the next rep, Jessica M, when you come up, try to come up to like a straight line, like a perfect arrow from your knees to your shoulder, a little bit higher up. Yes, perfect. You feel that? That looks great. Looking good. I'm sure you guys' booties are on fire. Kristen, you look great. Nice tight core, I see that. Awesome. So you guys, when you get to like 10 reps, let me know. Awesome. See you, good. All right. Anybody have any questions or need any like personal assistance on that at all? No. Okay. So I'll show you how to do it with a band and then with a dumbbell. If you want to make it tougher, that may have been plenty. Okay. If that felt tough, I would rather you work on form and getting a really good core connection if you feel like you're quite there. But I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to go to the next thing, which is like the more advanced version of this exercise. Okay. So if you watched our video last week, you saw us use the little band. And then if you have a dumbbell or whatever, you can put it even like something heavy, like a book or something. You could use that as well. Use your imagination. So I'm gonna scoot us back. So I prefer band placement under the knee. So around the legs like this, under the knee right here. Okay, not too high. I always feel like it'll just roll up on me no matter what I do. And I'm just gonna do a couple. You guys don't have to do it with the additional resistance, but you can try it if you want to. Make sure your feet are not close enough, but not too close. So if you're too close, you're gonna get the quad. If you're too far, you're gonna get too much hamstring. So you wanna be just right. If you're in the sweet spot, it'll be a lot of cheek action, a lot of booty action, and not really anything else, okay? So with the band, make sure you're maintaining tension on the band. So abduct the knees, separate them outwards just a little, and you'll do your same 5-second hold. 4, 5. So you can do it that way for a few, or if you have a dumbbell, you can grab that, place that. If you want to be really aggressive, you can do both. So I'll show you with both. So you guys go through a few more, but then I'm going to move on to the next thing.
How many of these do you want us to do?
Just 5 or so. I'm just trying to let everybody get there. I see Kristen setting up with her band, so I was just gonna take a look at what she was doing. Do it till it burns. Just kidding. Anybody getting any back pain or anything? That's something I'm really concerned about. So looking good, guys. All right, so you keep working on, go through a few more if you want to. I'm gonna set up for the next level up from this, which is a hip thrust. So you've seen this one probably, you know, on Instagram or whatever. And I have a bench here. I have a couple benches that I use, but you guys can use a chair, like a low stool, like a bench shape. You know, it has to be low enough, so you don't want it to be too tall. So what I do is I actually lower my bench down. Right height. So whatever you're using, like a couch is perfect, or like a low chair. You want it, you know, kind of end up like right in the middle of your back. Max, like at the shoulder blades. That would work. So I'm gonna work through it. You guys can, you know, you can just observe if you don't have something handy, or you can figure out something around you that would work. So you're gonna lean up against it. This is the next level up from that bridge, okay? These two are glute dominant movements, a lot of glute, not a lot of other things. So I'm all about the booty action. I really like developing glutes. I think that on women, it can be you know, problem area, an area where confidence issues, stuff like that. So I really like to take time, and I have a lot of tricks to make it, you know, more bang for your buck. So same foot position, knees bent. Maybe I should scoot a little. Right. But you're going to be elevated up, okay? And tight core, you're extending hip extension, so you're extending up. And same thing, just it's more range. So I'm going to show you. So if you don't have weight, just cradle your head, breathe, exhale, lift, hold. 1, 2, 4, 5. Rest. Nice tight core, okay? We don't want lower back. Awesome. So I'm gonna let you guys do a few, and I'm gonna third. This one you may feel a little more difficulty. Natalie, look good? Shake. You can rest whenever you need to, guys. Kristen, you look great. Good tight core, good squeeze. I'm looking at the Jessicas now. Okay, Jessica Tanner, you feel how you're like kind of hyperextending up through your back. So you know how like you like tilt your pelvis a little bit as you come up slightly, and don't go up quite as high. So come up a little bit shorter and keep the core tight. More glute, okay, if you can. It's no big deal. There it is. You feel the difference? That looks much better. That looked a lot better. So do you feel how you didn't feel it in your lower back? Core was much tighter, way, way better. Hi. I see a little kid hand. Okay. All right. So you guys can take a rest. Same deal. You could add the band or the dumbbell to this to make it more challenging. If you want to go through a few with the band belt just to practice, I'm going to let you do that. And I'm going to set up for our next thing so I can keep it moving. Okay. So you guys are to work through a few more rounds of that. You guys look great. So after we do short position movements with any muscle, especially the glutes, because it's, you know, passion area of mine, you want to go into long loaded. So you're taking the muscle and you're stretching it out and applying pressure or load when it's elongated. So I'm going to show you a few. I'm going to show you a harder one and then a modification or something if you don't have like a step or something secure that you can step up onto. Step up, it's a little bit harder. It's okay if you don't want to do it, or if it's a little bit difficult, I'll show you a modification. Set up here because I have my bench set right in front of a bar, and I have that for a good reason, because I like to use just a little bit of my fingers to hold, like lower myself down a little bit more slowly so I get a lot of loading in the glute in a long position. So do this up here. And I want you to pay attention to my body positioning. So I'm going to show you here. When you're stepping up, if you're leaning way back here, you're going to get a lot of quad and not a lot of glute. Okay. What do we want? We want glutes. It's all about this position, this forward knee. This is one of my little tricks. Almost any movement, you get this little forward knee, you're going to get way more glute load. So you want to lean into the step. So if you notice, I'm leaning in. You'll feel it right away. When you lean your weight into it, the glute, bam, I feel it right there. So you're going to step up easy. Slower the better, especially on the way down. So this is why I have my little fingertips here. You can use a wall or a door or anything like that. You're going to come down slow, slow, slow. You see, I'm maintaining this lean. It's really, really key to keep the glute working, not getting a lot of the quad. The quad is going to work no matter what, but we want more booty, right? So tight core, lean, up, all glute, lean, low down. As much as you can, okay? I understand it's a little bit more advanced. You can try it out. I'm going to do one more so you can see this positioning, lean, up. So if you're on a wall, just put your fingers on the wall, kind of just give a little bit of control. Okay. So I'm gonna watch you guys. If you want to, somebody wants to try it, you don't have to. No problem. Yes, that's fine. Just nobody fall, please. Yeah, there it is. Good. So you can do a few on one leg and then go to the other. You can alternate feet. That's fine too. She has little steps, little workout steps. That's cool. Look a little wobbly. You just practice it with a lower step. Yeah, you don't have to go super crazy high. Just practice with something a little bit shorter. Yeah, there it is. Good. In fact, if it's harder to go higher, I say go lower. Good. Now, especially if you're on something low and it doesn't feel very tough, slow down. Like I want you to float down, like resist when you come down, lean your body forward and resist, like kind of control. Yeah, there you go. Good. Okay, great. So this is a version of a long loaded. So you guys feel we just contracted the glutes. Now we're working them a totally different way though. So we're stretching them out. So you should feel the big difference on that, okay? So I'm gonna show you another move, and this one probably be a bit easier. I'm just trying to decide how I wanna do it. Okay, I usually set up here, so I'll probably just do this. So here's my bench, but I'm going to have raise it up here. So if you have a chair back or something, that could work. You don't have to use the handhold. I just have it there if you want to try it. So another version of this is like in place like this in the lunge. Here. Make sure you guys can see everything. Zoom needs a zoom out feature. Okay. All right. So same thing. Nice deep stance. I know you can't see my upper body. It's my leg. So I'm leaning forward, leaning my body, and I'm going to lunge down. So you want to lean into it. You should feel it. Get that little forward lean. It's very loaded in this butt area, glute area. Slower is better. More time under tension in the long position. So turn my camera back around. You guys see what I was doing? So in position, in place. Step back, step forward. Yeah, so like this, lean forward and lean over that front leg. So I usually like to do a few reps on one side. Nice tight core. So I'm gonna grab it and look at you guys because I can see a few of you are not quite getting that lean that I'm talking about. It's okay. I know it's hard to see it on the video. Okay. How are we on time? Okay, we're doing great. We're about to wrap up. Okay. So Natalie, so you see how you're going directly up and down? This will be a perfect example. I don't know if everybody can see you or if it's on speaker mode. When you're leaning forward, lean your body over. You're gonna hug your knee when you come down. Yes, and then you feel that?
Oh yeah.
That's all glute, totally different, okay? So that's why, you know, if you, like Natalie, you have a dresser right there. You could grab it with your fingertips just for balance. If you need it, you may not. Yeah, you can like really sit down in that. Okay. Kristen looks great. Feel that big old stretch through those glutes. That long loaded looks great. My Jessica's looking good. Let me see here. So Jessica Tanner, you're going, you see how your body is straight up and down? So when you're going, I want you to, yeah, lean and like you're gonna hug your knee when you go down. Like lean, yeah, there you go. Like you're gonna give it a big, yeah, there it is. So do you feel how you loaded up that glute now instead of the quad? A little bit, it's okay. It's all, yeah, there you go. It's all new. So you can switch legs, guys, rest whatever you need to. I'll see some leg shaking going on.
Mine are definitely shaking.
Hey guys. So I'll talk a little bit while you guys work on that. If you're building like a home workout or you want to do a little something, try incorporating this trick. So a few exercises, short position where it's harder in the contraction position. It's going to apply to any leg movement or any muscle group, I guess I should say. But glutes especially, they really can benefit from taking advantage of both the short and long position. So pick a couple hip extension movements or even like kick back, like a, you know, like a little butterfly kick like this, where you're gonna work hard in the short phase, like so. So this is short, right? It's harder up here when it's contracted, right? And then couple that with a long position movement, like a squat, a lunge, you know, a deadlift, something like that, and do a couple exercises, a few sets of both ends of the range. And that's a perfect way to really get into all those muscle fibers and see growth very, very quickly if you're dedicating a few days a week to doing that kind of recipe. So we have a couple of minutes. Does anybody have questions or anything? Hopefully that, I know that was a lot and there's more of you today, so I'm trying to make sure I give everybody some attention. Anybody have any questions?
I have a couple. So
Okay.
for this squat thing that we did, if we want to make it harder and we've got dumbbells, what's the best placement for those?
So I really like to really go slow on that one. So I like to have a hand free, usually if I'm going heavier, especially. So I can, again, use my little fingertips. I'm not pulling with my arm, so I don't want you guys to, get confused. So when you're holding the dumbbell, here, I'll set myself back up over here. Like so. You see my bench. So if you're in a lunge here, you have your little fingertips. I like to just let it hang down, right? Kind of in between my two legs.
Okay.
And that lean, I'm like really, when I say hug your knee, like you're gonna come down and hug it. You see my body position, I can just hug it. So you wanna maintain that lean forward. I really don't feel it. I feel all of my front glute, not really anywhere else. Like that. The slower the better, I promise. Don't try to do a ton more weight if you can't do super slow controlled reps at the lighter weight. Or, I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever, but there's don't have to necessarily go ham hard to get benefit. You know, you could take care of your core, take care of your back. It's still quite a lot of muscular engagement and change. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, yep, exactly. And then the other thing I was gonna bring up real quick is when you were doing your butterfly kicks in the back, can you teach them the proper way to do those like you taught me? Because I didn't know that there was like a certain way to do those.
So there's a better way to do them, and it has to do with the angle of the leg and making sure that you're keeping your core tight. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna try to set up here. You
Yeah,
like
I've been doing those wrong my whole life.
well, you know, a lot of people will get a lot of the back action happening. I don't know if you guys can. Okay, right, perfect. So I'll show you, like most people do it wrong, and they'll be doing like this, you know, like really crazy, like really high, like a bird or a water feeder kind of thing, you know. And you're just moving your body around aggressively, but you're not getting a lot of squeeze in the cheek. So when you're gonna be doing it, I want you to find something firm, like apply pressure to keep your torso upright. Okay, so my torso's not really gonna move, and you're gonna want to back a little, and I like to do it with a little bit of a point like this, like a ballerina, and you're gonna kick back, squeeze only the glute. Okay, I want it to come all from the cheek and nowhere else. So my core is tight. See, my body's not really moving. It's all booty and leg.
And it's going to like the corner of the box, not the side or
Yes.
the.
So I'll use the back so you can see me. I was going to mention the foot positioning. A lot of people do it straight back or to the side. Neither of those are bad, but you know, you can get a better benefit from doing more like half and half. So if you're in a box, like here, you know, kick whatever leg, aim to the back corner behind your box rather than straight back or straight to the side. So more kind of like a diagonal. When you're doing it right, you feel the entire glute max and the very upper part, which is the really hard part to hit. That really makes your butt look very curvy and rounded and bubbly, you know, that like C shape. If you don't activate and work the upper part of this glute, you're not going to develop it. And so, you know, you're going to have like a slow butt, you know, like the heavy on the bottom, but not up top. You know what I mean, right? So you want like a curvy looking cheek. Sorry, like this is, someone's going to watch this back and they're going to be like, what are these things talking about? So, give it a good kick. If you do it right, it's very easy to really hit this upper, right up here. It's almost like it wants to cramp up on you. Then you know you're doing it right. If you guys want, no one has to run off here. I can watch you guys do it if anybody wanted me to observe. Anybody?
I got it.
Everybody tired? All right. Well, I know that Natalie has to take off, and we're past time. Anything else? Did that answer your question, Natalie?
Yeah, that helps
Okay.
with like adding the weight and stuff like that too. So
Absolutely. And you know, with the like kicks, you could add like an ankle weight or something like that, you know, as well. I mean, I would add like a lot.
yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I hope you guys all learned something, and I hope I see you back next week. You know, we're contemplating making this potentially a regular thing. So if anybody had any questions, like, you know, that privately, or they want a little bit more information, you know, feel free to reach out to me like on Instagram, or you get my info from Natalie or whatever. You guys, you know, I'm happy to help. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Kelsey. I think you gave us a lot to figure out with this week. So
No,
we'll bring that with the last couple will be good.
No problem. It's
Thank
going
you.
well. No problem. See you guys later.
All right. Bye, Kelsey. Thank you.